Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Europa Universalis. And we're now at the end of the third round of the first age. I'm going to go through the end of turn sequence. I'm going to do this, I guess, mainly off camera. Just want to quickly recap what happened at the end of the turn. We've seen the printing press and the Renaissance. The printing press gave people a lot of admin cubes when they were willing to gain diverse faith in their capital area, and everybody did that. The Spaniards managed to immediately convert back to Catholicism. Everybody else has that diverse faith in their area, so we're going to see some unrest popping up there. Apart from that, players were allowed, because of the Renaissance, to get technologies a little cheaper, and they could use their admin to do that. So in this combination with the printing press, it was actually possible for them to research some ideas. We've seen the tolerance by the Poles. The Spanish and the French found the quest of the New World. Cannons by the Turks. And the bots did Inquisition, I think, and I think the serfdom here. I'm not sure. Yeah, apart from that, I think not too much happened actually in the last video, to be perfectly honest. Players were still kind of sieging the conquered areas here. They were kind of repairing their unrest, and yeah, I think that was actually mainly it. So yeah, we're gonna go now to the rebel phase. Go through the bot peace resolution, because I'm not sure if we actually already did that. And that's a little weird. So the guy has achieved a total victory. I was starting with the English here. They managed to win in Normandy and Brittany. So it's a total victory against Brittany. Annex all of the enemy's provinces. That makes sense. Score victory points equal to the tax value of the annexed provinces. So this is 2. So this goes up by 2. Then, and this is getting a little confusing here simply for some reason. This goes down here, and now we got all these black stripes. And I think it's not this one here. No, that comes from here. So it's one of these. So this goes here around the corner. If the enemy still exists, that's not the case. So we continue. Remove the bot's claims from areas where bot now owns all provinces. Now that's not the case. For each claim removed, remove 2 unrest and score 2 victory points if able, and there's less than 2 core provinces in play. Okay, now this is not the case because he doesn't own all the provinces. So I guess he only gets the 2 victory points here. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here with the Austrians. So we're gonna remove the war token here, but they score 4 victory points. We got to remove the occupied markers, simply because the tax value of the towns is 4. So that means they are now 20 and the Austrians are in the lead. The French actually lost 2 victory points because Champagne is still occupied and it's a large city. So that's really bad. Yeah, so they're down to 2 victory points. They're doing just terribly. I mean, it doesn't look terribly unhealthy, but they're absolutely scoring no points. Shocking. There's no interregnum, and we got to go now to the religious dissent, and that will affect pretty much everyone except for the Spaniards. So we're going to flip, we're going to add unrest in these areas. Okay, I'm done with this. Not a lot too exciting happened. The Poles had a rebellion, but because of their tolerance, they were able to re-roll that, and in the end, they were fine. The French were lucky. They got Caux back for free. And apart from that, a couple of manpower were lost and a couple of ducats, but nothing too exciting happened. The French managed to collect a ton of cubes here. Also the Spanish, especially diplomacy cubes, they're sitting on 6 diplomacy cubes. The French have 5 administrative cubes, 3 diplomacy, 6 military cubes. We see these guys received 7 diplomacy cubes. This is administrative cubes. This is crazy. They're sitting on 3 diplomacy and 4 military. Only the Turks are not that great with their 4 admin, 1 diplomacy and 3 military, but it's still not terrible. And you can see the bots, the Austrians. I mean, this is insane. I don't know, I mean, this is completely crazy. But this is going to be the last turn, at least. And then we're going to redetermine who is actually played by bots. This is going to be the last turn of the age. And in the next age, I'm going to roll again. It's possible that it's again the Austrians and the English, but, well, that's unlikely. I guess it's probably at least one of them will change, maybe both. So we'll see. Let's have a look at the new event cards of this round. So the first one is Religious Zeal. So establish the Inquisition. Pay 3 admin to research the Inquisition idea and optionally another one to change the religion in one of your areas with diverse faith to your state religion. That isn't bad. That can be interesting. And then we have Deus Vult. Pay 3 admin to research the Deus Vult idea, or if your player realm is Catholic, optionally pay 1 diplomacy to do a call crusade papal action instead and commit to the crusade. Okay, that is definitely an interesting card. The next one is the Polish Golden Age. 8 Prussian Confederation. Poland gains a claim in Prussia and may declare war on the Teutonic Order to immediately gain a vassal on Danzig. You gain 1 military. Yeah, that doesn't help. We already have a vassal in Danzig. Or the Jagiellonian dynasty. Poland gains a marriage with both Bohemia and Hungary. Flip all marriages on one of these realms to the disputed side. You gain 2 diplomacy. So I assume we have that immediately, right? We have immediately this disputed succession conflict in Bohemia. So that's interesting. We might consider doing that. That could give us a couple of points. So we'll see. Now one problem, this leader, he isn't too great. This guy is much better. So yeah, that would suck. If I choose this, I gotta take the leader, and I don't really want him. But if someone else chooses it, it probably won't help me. But I'm not sure what to do here. It might also not be in my interest to get into this disputed succession here. And the last one for now is the Lollard heresy. Stop the heretics. Add 2 unrest to English towns. England gains 1 victory point, you gain 1 military, or let them be. England loses 1 victory point, their rightmost cardinal, and 4 influence from Catholic areas. If you are a Catholic realm other than England, you gain a cardinal. Okay. So that might be interesting for France if they want to go to war with England. They could give England a couple of revolts and gain an additional military. They might use that to their advantage. The French, they have a tough decision to make. What are their goals for this turn? So they get a few options that are all really interesting. So the first one is, and that seems like an obvious one, to kick the French out of, to kick the English out of France. Okay, we got 6 military cubes, so we are in a really strong shape. I have a general sitting here. I got a feeling I could do that. I'm pretty sure I can do that. The problem is, I have here rebels, a rebel town in Champagne. And that's an issue because that costs me 2 points at the end of a turn, which is a lot. So I could throw the English out, which gives me 5 points, but I would immediately lose 2 for not taking care of the revolt. The question is, can I do both? Maybe. And this is tricky. If I now I have to recruit an army, that's one. I have to declare war. Now I assume I will immediately win a battle, so basically the declaration of war is then free because I can recruit my army right there, fight, win the battle, get the cube back. So I still only spent 1 cube. Let's assume I win all that crap, and I have then to I have to siege these, but I got cannons, so I can do that also with another cube, so I'm at 2. Then I gotta move down here, and I gotta spend another cube for a siege. In addition, I want to hire a general, which costs me 2 cubes, so I would be at 6. And in addition to that, I think in the first big battle, I want to fire off these the innovative tactics. So I would need about 7 cubes. Now I could gain 8 when I do a reorganization, and I might gain another one if I do the Lolland heresy. So I might end up with 9 cubes. That would be not... Oh, actually it would. If I move the army then back with my cannons, it would be just enough to get rid of the unrest in Champagne. So I could do that, but it's something that really has to work out. I mean, it's just the last cube, right? If that doesn't work, it's a problem. If there is a revolt or so and I have to pay a cube, that's not that bad because I have a couple of other cubes left. There are more things to do though. Now, it would be also great to subjugate the French dukes. If I do this, then I can keep these two, and that means I already managed to subjugate these. And then we have here Provence and Anjou. I already have an alliance with these guys, but it would cost me 2 influence and another influence, and I have to find the card. So I could do this, I got 3 influence, but then I cannot move 2 influence from here into here. So that's where things are already starting to get tricky. So I could not do both this turn. I can only do one thing. I could focus completely on diplomacy, trying to subjugate Provence and trying to subjugate Savoie. The problem is, because I also want to get Burgundy, but I don't want to attack here because this is part of the Holy Roman Empire, as you can see here, and I don't want to get in trouble with the Austrians. They have a massive army sitting here. So I don't know. Another choice would be to build a big fleet this turn, try to do a bit of diplomacy and cut off the English so that I can attack them next turn. But you know, honestly, I feel I want to do it this turn because all these things, I need a subjugate card or maybe 2 to do it, and I don't have one yet. So this is a big if, but I have pretty much full control over my military actions, so I think I would prefer that. So the Spanish have a problem, and that's something that bothers me about this game. They basically fucked up this card. It says own or vassalize 5+ provinces in Naples, Sicily, and Corsica and Sardinia. Now they already did that, and that means they cannot score it. You know, if it already happened, you can't score it. So that sucks. So basically we lost that mission because we already did it. And that's something I really don't like about this game. It really feels like that actually does not make a lot of sense. And I don't know, I'm close to say, hey, I want to house rule that, but yeah, I won't, but it kind of sucks. So I wonder what I can do. Aragon, Andalusia. Well, I could try to form Spain. All that I have to do is I need to get Navarra, I guess. So that sounds like it should be pretty easy to do. Problem is, you have to own that stuff. That's not so easy. That isn't so easy. I wonder if basically that means I have to subjugate Aragon and I have to get Navarra. And I need a claim for that. Oh man. Okay, so here's the thing. I think, I'm not sure, but I think I can try to do this, although I didn't score that, but I fulfilled it. So I think I should be allowed to at least try that. 5 provinces in Lombardy, but I can do it. No, that ain't working. This is tough, man. This is really not easy. I think the Spaniards are going with Discover Caribbean, which makes a lot of sense, and Form Spain. I'm not sure if I can do it, but I can at least try. I got a lot of diplomacy, and you know, maybe I'm lucky, and I can definitely discover the Caribbean. That should work out fine. Okay, so the Poles, they still have the Commonwealth trying to vassalize Lithuania, and then they have marching on 2 or more provinces in an area that was not adjacent by land to your realm at the start of the game. So the idea here is that I could move down here to Circassia. I'm allied with Crimea, so I can move through their land and simply try to take this. I could, for example, attack this here. I don't know what that is, but I could simply grab these, and yeah, that should be easy, and I would not be immediately in conflict with the Turks, I guess. If I don't move on, I hope I'm okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, that's the start of the turn here. So I read again the rules about completing a mission, and I was confused by this sentence here. The mission requirements must be met at a time of scoring. Having previously met a mission's requirements does not qualify. So I kind of thought you have to fulfill your mission at the moment when you score the card. But I think that is wrong. I think it is actually possible to pick a card and then score it if you have fulfilled the missions already. It's just important that that the requirements are still met. I think that's the way it's meant. And so you can see that I'm not an English speaker, not a native English speaker. I kind of mixed that up a little bit. So the thing is now, I'm going to allow the Spaniards to pick that mission. The problem is they are actually not allowed to complete the mission in the first phase of the round. So they cannot immediately score it now. They have to wait until the action phase starts, and then they can score it, which means they cannot pick immediately a follow-up mission. So that's not that great. But I mean, they can still score then eventually the follow-up missions. So it should be okay. Let's start with the French now. And yeah, for them it's tricky because they want to do that war So I think the first thing but I also want I want this event. So I could do now a focus action, bring 8 military in there, and that would give me the milestone build to force limit. But it would only give me that's not true. Focus power, that would give me 3 points. But then I would lose this military cube if, for some reason, for example, the English would pick that. So that kind of sucks. Therefore, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick that card now, immediately, and because I want that cube. And I want to bring trouble to the English. So it's the Lollard heresy. And stop the heretics. Add 2 rebels to English areas, England gains 1 point, you gain 1 military cube. So I think what I want to do is, first I kind of want to keep the army in here, I think, because then I can attack immediately and get my point back. So I want to make this rebellious, and maybe even that. Yeah. In addition, the English score another point, so are really doing well. And then we got here Henry VII. Now this is interesting. If in the Second Age England is ruled by a player instead of a bot, because then I will give them this leader here. So I'm going to remove Edward IV. Okay, so we see another card, and it says the rise of Safavid Persia. Add blue tokens on Tabriz, all provinces in Iraq and 4 provinces adjacent to Iraq, as well as on Isfahan, Fars and Herat on the India and Arabia map. And then you can choose between stop them, Ottomans gain 2 military and must declare war on Persia, or Shakulu rebellion, add unrest to 3 cities or vassals or towns that are adjacent to Persia. Now, I assume that is Persia. So that is not too problematic. I would take some hits here. That's kind of interesting because that has in a way an influence to on the Poles, because if they are trying to grab these 2 areas here in Circassia, that means that then we probably get unrest there. Okay, so now it's the Spanish, and they can now score their Italian ambitions. Own or vassalize 5 provinces in Naples, Sicily, and Corsica and Sardinia. They have that. They have 7 provinces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is even a big one, but okay, it doesn't matter. So that gives them 4 victory points. And that brings them closer to the leaders. Gain 2 claims in central Italy, Lombardy, Languedoc, Burgundy, or Flanders and Wallonia. That's interesting now, because there's a couple of things going on. First of all, we have a card here, a mission that says basically conquest of Italy or something like that. There we go. So that says own or vassalize 5 provinces in Lombardy, Venetia, or central Italy. Okay. So that's the thing. And that is possibly even more important on the short term, we have the Italian wars. Flanders and Wallonia, Rhineland, Burgundy, Lombardy, Venetia, central Italy, and Naples. Okay. So I think we definitely want to claim in central Italy. But yeah, I think that is something. And the other one, maybe we want one. Lombardy, Venetia. Lombardy, that is here. What about Flanders and Wallonia? I don't know, it's hard to get there. Things would be different if we had a marriage with these guys, but now it's a little late there. I guess I want to claim in Lombardy and central Italy. Okay, so I'm gonna place my claims there. So the Spaniards actually will do this change focus thing, and they will go fully on diplomacy this turn. So now they have 8 diplomacy cubes, and that is the focus power bonus. That gives them 3 victory points, and that means they go to second place. So let me grab attack here and mark that. There you go. And they get 2 administrative cubes. That's pretty awesome. And then they have the option to I think I wanted to have the naval done. I made a mistake. I wanted to discard the cards. I forgot that I have to discard the cards to get the cards out of here. I wanted to get the spy network out of there. Now I'm not sure if I can still do that. I want to keep the naval traditions. So my problem is, in general, I want a spy network so that I'll be able to get rid of the influence here, of the French influence, and then eventually subjugate these here. Subjugating Naples is important for me because it helps me with my conquest of Italy, and it also helps me with the upcoming Italian wars. But I cannot do that because France has 2 influence there. I need 4 influence to subjugate Naples because this is a double city. So, and there's a maximum of 5 influence per area. So therefore I need to get 1 influence out of there. There's 2 options to do this. You can use the new alliance or you can use a spy network. I think maybe there is other stuff, but this is what I know. I don't have these cards. I wonder if I can use the... No, I think that the royal marriage does not help here. It gives me an additional influence, but the problem is that I cannot remove that influence. And the cards, the subjugate cards, clearly says you have to remove influence equal to the to the tax value. So I think I cannot use the royal marriage to help me with my subjugation. So my problem is, if I discard these 2, I can no longer use navigators to perform an explore action. And that means I have to pay military cubes to do an explore action, and I only have 2 of them. And in addition to that, I wanted to build a fleet. And then I would only have a single military cube. So I could only do a single explore action. And that is not good. So yeah, maybe I should just not get a card. That's probably the thing then. I maybe simply should not get a card. I find that frustrating. Okay, I'm not gonna get a card. Fuck it. I want to do exploration. I think if you start off a little earlier, it really becomes easier. And I've seen the playthrough of Callendale, he really did not a lot of exploration. It really didn't work out that well. But in general, it's a good thing, you know. It's a pretty easy way to expand your empire. You don't really have to go to war against other players, and there are interesting trade opportunities. So therefore, I think I want to follow that path, and maybe I'm lucky and I draw some useful card. I mean, there are two cards, the New Alliances and the Spy Network. Maybe I'm lucky and I draw one of these cards next turn. There's no really reason for me to do it this turn. So I'm not going to draw a card. At least I scored the points here. And for the focus power, that's pretty good. So on to the English. So the English will simply draw a bot card. And that is a naval action. Okay, so he's got to spend 2 cubes for that. And let's see what that does. There we go. So there are no hostile sea zones. Are there any sea zone without bots ships adjacent to bots ports? Yeah, that's actually the case. Northeastern Atlantic, the Bay of Biscay. So, place ship in such area, prefer adjacent to the most trade nodes. Huh. That is, both are adjacent to 1, then it says alphabetical. So we go for the Bay of Biscay. And yeah, okay. Place a ship in such a sea zone. Does he have a ship adjacent to pirates? Yeah, we have pirates over there. So now for the first time we might see a combat against pirates. Remove all pirates from such trade nodes. Wow, that was easy. So there we go. This one goes away. That's interesting, because if that would actually not have been the case, he would have traded. So placing a pirate in a sea zone, in a trade node where the bot sits, actually does give him some trouble. Otherwise he simply would have traded, which then probably would have given him additional bot cards. And that's it. That's the end of the turn. So he fought the pirate there. The Austrians. Again, a bot card. Oh, we should place. Yeah, we got a discard pile here. So the bot for the Austrians: convert or papal curia. So again, 2 cubes. And they got so many cubes, it's crazy. So that discards one of these. And yeah, okay, so conversion. I assume that is here, yeah. So does he still have areas with a religious descent? Well, there would be this one here. He doesn't really own that though. But there is definitely this one. Are there others? I don't think so. I think this is the only area with a religious descent. So we follow that. Is Catholic and all its areas are Protestant or vice versa? No. Are all provinces in a dissenting area owned by a bot or by bot? No, that is not the case. So he performs the second action of the card instead, because you need to own them all to do this. Okay. Oh, actually, I was wrong. There is this one here. That one, the diverse faith. So yeah, he actually does that. So he goes there. He converts the area back to the state religion. So this goes back. And that gives him 2 fucking points. Incredible. So for other players, for a human player, this is just annoying. He can use that to score points. And that's it. That's the end of the turn. So that did help. So now it's the Poles. And they have a bit of a problem. There is the card here, the Polish Golden Age. And now that sounds like a good card. But in this situation, it's really not. The problem is, or the main issue is, it's this leader who is really not that great. I mean, we have a fantastic leader sitting here. And yeah, that's just great. And this guy he's just clearly worse, right? he's much worse. And the problem is that I have to take him if I trigger this event. It becomes optional if someone else triggers the event. But if someone else triggers the event, he could choose the Jagiellonian dynasty. Poland gains a marriage with both Bohemia and Hungary. Flip all marriages on one of these realms to their disputed side. You gain 2 diplomacy. The problem is, if they take Hungary, I might have to go to war with Austria. I'm not even sure if that is even possible. No, I don't think so, actually, because I think Hungary simply doesn't exist anymore. That's an interesting question. I think Hungary does no longer exist. So that's not, actually it would be only Bohemia. And that would not be so terrible. I could go in there, fight for a succession, and grab a couple of points. I might have to wait then for my project down here, but that would be okay. I could keep my leader maybe. So I think I'm not going to trigger that right now. Instead, I'm going to focus on a couple of other things. And I think I simply, I don't know, I could play this exceptional year. That's a good one. That's a great card. Gives me cash. Helps me to remove unrest. Yeah, why not? I got a lot of these admin cubes, so I actually think I'm going to do that. I'm going to play the exceptional year. You may remove unrest from one of your provinces or vassals. Interesting. Do I want to do a vassal? No, why not? I mean, I don't know. I think I prefer a province. Let's take this one here. On the other hand, I think I'm actually going to take this, because this is Catholic. Here I would get religious dissent and it would come back immediately again. This is a Catholic province, so that should be an ongoing piece now. Then I gain $9, which is really awesome. And I do have an administrative skill of 7. So I definitely, the requirements are not an issue here. Okay, so that was a good card. Get $9. That's amazing. That was helpful. We got this one here, the rise of Safavid Persia, and it's the Turks' turn, and they are considering this. They would gain control over this card. So the thing is, they could either attack the Persians. They would gain 2 military. That would mean they would then have 5, which isn't bad, and they have to declare war on Persia. I kind of dismissed some of my army because I thought, I'm not going to use it and all. Now, I don't know, I could do this. I could go into a big war with Persia during this turn and probably, maybe, I could take this area. This is interesting. And it is interesting also because it would allow me to gain access to India and Arabia. I mean, mainly to Arabia first. You know, we got these areas here, and that would then be available. I could do exploration actions into these areas. If I, yeah, that's definitely possible. I do not need the quest for the New World for that. That only allows me to do it with a ship. But this, I could do all this by land. So that's a very, very interesting perspective. But, I mean, I'm still in a position where I basically, I kind of pushed into the Balkans, right? So there's going to be a crisis on the Balkan as a power struggle eventually. I will be involved there. I got a few missions, and right now we got the Balkan foothold. So this all points into this direction. So that's a really tough decision. So what would be the other option? The other option would be add unrest to 3 cities or vassals that are adjacent to Persia. Now, the thing is that would only affect a single city, only that one. Therefore, it's not a big deal. And I basically can ignore the penalty. The only question is, do I want to go in this direction here, or do I want to keep going into this area here? Now it seems to me there are probably more points over here, but let me see. I'm going to check my future mission cards. It's a bit of a shame. There is a card here pretty much toward the end. It's one of my 3 missions. So I first have to do 2B, and then I can do this. And this card says conquer Mesopotamia. So this is then something I could do. And it's a bit, yeah, as I said, it would be cool to get points for building colonies in Arabia, for example. I would really think that would be pretty awesome. But the way it looks, it's not really my goal. I don't really want to go there. So therefore, maybe I should more focus on my missions. It's a shame, you know, it really is. But I think it just makes more sense. So I'm probably not too eager to fight these guys. If I had more, if that would be in a better shape here, I would probably say I want to protect that and I don't want to take the unrest there, and then I fight them. But in this situation, I don't really see a reason for that. I might as well go now here, you know, take Wallachia and Bulgaria, and that's it. Yeah, I think I'm going to go that way more. But you know, I wonder if I simply won't pick that card at the moment. It's not so attractive. And if someone else brings this shit up, I can still go to war. But right now, it doesn't seem too important to me. But then again, what else is there that I can do right now? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do with the Turks is I'm going to focus on my goals. I'm going to focus on my victory points. Yeah, as I said, it's a bit of a shame, and the game rules tell you that when you are an advanced player, you can play without the mission cards, and that might give you then really more freedom to do other things. But for now, I also have interest here in roads. One of my missions is to take this out, and then, as I already mentioned, I want to go there, but I need a claim to go there. I cannot simply do it. So I think the first thing I want is I need a new trade fleet or a new fleet. I only have a single galley. That's not good. If I want to at some point get some supremacy in the Eastern Mediterranean, and that is one of my goals, I need a fleet there. So I'm going to spend a cube, and I will build a trade fleet. Build 4 light ships during a single action. I can do this. I have a harbor here, a harbor here. I got tons of harbors. So that's not a problem at all. I'm going to simply pay, I think one costs 4. So that means I'm going to pay $12. No, that's not true. I got to pay $16. Oh man, that's a lot of cash. But okay, it gives me 3 victory points, and that's not bad. So the French, they are now building up their army, and yeah, I think the way I do it is I'm going to recruit a cannon here, and I'm going to need an army there, because a cannon can only exist in an army. You cannot simply place it on the board. I need a cannon so that I don't bring that army over here to get to siege the rebel town. But with the cannon, I can simply do it. Then I'm going to spend $6 to get an artillery. I already have 2 cavalry, and then I'm going to spend another $14 to hire the remaining units here. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that means I hired all my units, and that means I built to force limit, and that gives me a victory point. So nobody else can score that anymore, but it gives me a victory point, and it gives me $5, which is also nice. So I got 3 victory points. Yay! Awesome. The Spaniards, they are a bit frustrated. They wanted to do the trade fleet thing too. Oh man, that's interesting. It gives me 2 more of these. Pretty impressive. Well, okay, anyway, I think I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to build also 4 ships. That costs me $16. But I think the Spanish need a fleet, right? And this is something that until now I really kind of ignored the ships a little bit. Nobody really built a lot of ships. But especially if you want to go exploring, it helps, of course. And I think also when you want to trade. So I built 4 ships, and I'm going to place one here. I think I could even place one here in the central Mediterranean. You know, maybe I'm not going to place that here. Maybe I'm going to place 2 here. Maybe I'm going to place all 3 of them here, actually. It also gives me access to Bordeaux, and Central Mediterranean gives me access to the Adriatic Sea. So yeah, that's not bad. And that gives me a single point. And oh, wait a minute. Did I mess up? No, that gives me a point and 2 diplomatic cubes. Wait a minute. 2, 4, 6, 8. I got my 10 cubes, which is actually the maximum. That is crazy. That is totally insane. In English, we draw another bot card. So they will convert or focus. So that costs them 1 cube. And they can convert here, East Anglia. So the diverse faith is removed. And that means they will score 2 points for that. And that's it. On to the Austrians. So I draw a bot card. And it says unrest or spy. So they're going to pay 2. And I guess, if I remember that right, we simply remove 2 unrest. Just have to check from where. Prefer capital than large cities, so I guess we're gonna grab this one here. And we don't have a large city, so I guess we're gonna do it alphabetically then. But this is a Cremona, Beograd, so we're gonna take this, I guess. Is that clever? It's not really, because it's Orthodox, so it will probably come back. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Am I gonna do it anyway? Well, I mean, these are the penalties if you are a bot. Yeah, that's not, I mean, that's not really, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. That makes no sense. I'm not gonna do it. No, that's stupid. I think I'm gonna do it, well, let's do it here then. I mean, these obvious stupid decisions, I think, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna help the bot a little bit here. So the Poles, they now wanna subjugate Lithuania. So they got the card they need. They're going to spend 3 from their own diplomacy. Going to throw that in, I don't know, 2 here and 1 here. And then they need 3 more. And that means they got to spend $9. That gives them 3 additional cubes that we have down here. And then we can simply place them 2 here and, I don't know, I guess 1 here. And that means we have now the option to play this card. No, we can't do that. First, we have to place the influence. We cannot immediately play the card. So we place the influence, that's it, and we go to the next player. So the Turks will fabricate a claim here in Wallachia and Bulgaria. That costs them 2 diplomacy cubes, and then they are allowed to place a claim here. And that then gives them the chance to simply move in here and kind of take these two areas, which then I wonder if it is already enough for this foothold in the Balkans. Let me see. It says 5 provinces. God damn. That's not even enough. So maybe I'm actually, I don't know, man. Maybe I should go for roads first. I'm not sure, but I want to have a claim there, that's for sure. Okay, so I guess that's it. I want to load this up now, and yeah, we're gonna see a couple of wars. The French are still delaying theirs because they want to hope that the bot gets rid of a few cubes, but we are now at the point where, yeah, I think the French will soon declare war on England, and the Turks will do something down here. I'm not sure what exactly, but either they take out roads or these areas here in Wallachia and Bulgaria. The Poles might have to face here the problems that the Jagiellonian dynasty. We'll see what's going on there. Maybe a disputed succession in Bohemia, who knows? And I guess the Spaniards will mainly do exploration actions. Maybe we will even see our first colony in the New World. Okay, so hope to see you on the next video. Bye.